Okay, tak apa, kita start dulu. Okay, let others comes in and then they can refer it back. All right, so welcome to another course with me for this module. For our class today, this is values and ethics in management, right? So a part of management, we should a part of management as a manager, we should be able to be ethical at all times, and then we have to learn what are the ethical practices, what are the importance of ethics that we should practice in our corporation lah, ataupun our businesses. And then in this course as well, I'm going to share with you all the values that you should have as a manager in order for us to have apa orang panggil tu, a company with ethical practices and so on. Okay, we have talked about values, if you remember, in organizational management, and then I have told you what are the importance of the value, because if we have value, if we have a company that practices a culture where where we do have a strong belief in values, so it can shape the employees' behavior and so on. Okay, so as usual, let me just introduce myself again. I think that you guys already know me. So my name is Zuria Suzana Zulkefli. You can call me Miss Zuria or Miss Wawa. This is my phone number. This is my email. So feel free to hit me up if you have any question, if you would like to ask about the course, assignment. So just you can write to me or send me a DM. Okay. So let's take a look at about the course. So for today's class, I'm not going to teach. This is just an introduction class. So we are going to discuss about the assignment and then the course content. That's all. So it will be a very short class for today. So if you refer to the course synopsis here, right, this course is an integral component of the program as it prepares students with fundamental knowledge in business management. So what in this course, it will provide you the skill and knowledge on how to create and sustain leadership and managerial performance in competitive economic environment adhering to ethics. So as we know that a lot of practices nowadays in business, ethics is being one of challenge, right, for the management to be ethical, because a lot of issue, right? We have a lot of issue. So it is a challenge for management to be ethical at all times. Doesn't matter what are the consequences, no matter how fast you want to reach. Practices a lot of awareness that has been introduced in corporate world to make sure that manager are being ethical, and then they are aware of the current, for example, like regulation. So as a manager, as a top management, they should be aware of the current regulation related, for example, like let's say if we do have environmental regulation that we have to follow, if we have a certain licensing that we have to follow and so on. So we need to make sure that we are up to date with the current regulation and so on. So that is one of the example. And then the participant will be exposed to general questions that can assist in recognizing and anticipating ethical problems. So basically, our course here, we are going to talk about a lot about ethical problems, ethical dilemmas. If you have go through the course content, you should be able to see all of that. All right. The learning outcome for this course, by the end of this course, you should be able to comprehend the historical foundation and evolution of business ethics. So we are going to learn about some of the theories, some of the perspective in business ethics. And then you guys should understand the concept, the most of it is the theory, right? And we have discussed previously as well in OM. Okay, but never mind, we can repeat it again. The second one, you should be able to formulate a comprehensive framework for ethical decision making in business and evidence that ethical value systems. So we are going to take a look at what are some tools, what are some practices about ethical decision making, and then how to formulate the strategy for ethical decision making, who should be involved, what are the steps, and so on. And then lastly is you should be able to interpret the extent of ethical misconduct in workplace and pressures for unethical behavior. Okay, so we're also going to take a look at several ethical misconduct that happen in workplace, that currently happen, that has happened. And then one of the example, I think, nowadays is about let's say a discrimination, using of workplace bullying, all of those things, okay, the ethical misconduct. And if involve top management, so we can like related to finance, for example, financial reporting, manipulation of documents, false reporting, and then we are going to take a look at okay. And another thing, when we have ethical misconduct in workplace, I am sure that you guys are familiar with the terms whistleblowing. So we are going to learn about that as well. So some of the terms that we are going to learn is like whistleblowing, the conflict of interest, and so on. Okay. Nanti kita akan tengok dekat dalam course content. I think the rest, this one you guys can read. So let's take a look at the course assessment structure. I think we go to the syllabus first. So we don't have a lot of topics for this class. We only have 5 topics throughout the 6 weeks. So the first topic would be value and value system in the life of professional. So here we are going to learn about the professional virtue and self-regulation. So we start with ourselves first. This one is in individual level, what kind of value, faith, and professional practice that you as an individual should have in the workplace, right? We are going to learn about some of the more good moral values. Okay, I'm sure that you guys know this already. All right, this is like a refresher course for you. And by this time, actually, you should practice all these good values, right? If you don't, then let this course be a reminder to you to start practicing it, right? Or to continue practicing it and so on. So this is a very basic things, right? About the value and value system in the life of professional. Like professionalism, what are the things that can be done? What are the things that cannot be done? Your interpersonal skill, your values, and so on. Okay, and then we are going to learn about individual values and managerial roles and responsibility. So this is when we are going to talk about ethical leadership, right? Because for master student, we are preparing you to become a very good manager. So you should have an ethical leadership along with other leadership style that you possess. One of it is you need to be ethical at all times, right? Because you are the role model. That's why we are going to learn about the roles and responsibility, managerial role and responsibility. People look up to you. You are the one who provide direction. So imagine kalau you tak ethical and then you provide direction to other people, to your employees, and then it became a normal practice in the company. So the whole company would not be ethical, right? Where companies are not ethical. Companies, misconduct is a very normal thing over there, right? Be it in a lower level, in bukan small scale lah maksud I. Let's say for being disrespectful, bullying, you discriminate people, you have favoritism. Okay, so all of that is unfavorable attitude unfavorable ataupun involved in workplace deviance, for example, right? So if you don't show a good leadership traits as manager, so it afraid that the whole culture in the company would be unethical. And then we are going to take a look at the addressing ethical dilemma. Because I like to believe that in workplace, it's not as, apa orang panggil tu, it's A or B or black and white, right? Some of the thing maybe we have to investigate further, to think about it more when unethical things happen. But we have to learn to go back to the rules and regulation. We have to go back to the concept of being ethical. Let's say we hear a lot of story where people steal because stealing not to get rich, but stealing for survive. So does it justify the actions? So definitely no, right? So similar in workplace as well. We have to follow whatever the code of conduct, the rules and regulation. Code of conduct ada dalam ni tak? Another thing is code of conduct, right? And I'm sure that your company, if you go to your website or if you go to your internal network, you should be able to find the code of conduct for your company. If you don't have that, so you can suggest to your management to put that, to make sure that every employee knows that it's very important for you to have a code of conduct, right? It serves as a guideline, as a written rule that things that you cannot do in company, and you have a very strong foundation. Let's say if anything happen, you can always refer to, right, code of conduct. Nanti I'm going to show you some of the example. Okay. And then after that, one of the most discussed topic nowadays is about diversity. In managing diversity in workplace. So when we talk about diversity, it's not just in terms of gender, right? We have to employ, there are a lot of benefits to employ people from diverse background, diverse race, economic, and also gender, and in terms of culture as well. However, with this diversity, a lot of challenge will come to the surface, and then as a manager, you should know to handle this diversity. The easiest one that I can find throughout my working experience is the diversity. According to nationality, okay? Because in every country they practice that they work differently. They have their own culture. They have their own way of doing their work, right? In fact, yesterday I had a discussion with my student. So he has been involved in a lot of years, okay? So many years, involved in discussing with other experts in his field, right? But what happened is during the discussion or during the work process, they say that Asian is very good when it comes to doing work, right? Meanwhile, for several nationality, they focus more on talking but not doing, right? So people say that we can talk until cows can fly and so on, but when it comes to doing the work, so none of them showing good example ataupun good expertise in that, right? And other nationality, I'm not mentioning it. So other nationality, it seems like they say that they have this power, that they show that they are strong, that they are this, that they are that. But when it comes to doing the actual work, so actually it's not seems like whatever that they have mentioned. Okay, when it comes to action, it's not the same lah. So apa, indah khabar daripada rupa, something like that. So yeah, managing diversity. So I faced that as well throughout my working experience. Working with a lot of nationality, had taught so much, right? Different people, they have totally different way of thinking, the way they do their work, the way that they see the work and so on. Right. So this is a challenge for a manager um, to handle or to cater this challenge. And next is formulation of ethical issue and ethical decision making. So when we talk about managers, one of the main activity is decision making. So it's very important for you to equip yourself with ethical decision making skill. We are going to learn about the ethical reasoning, the moral judgment, and then applying ethics to everyday decision making. In fact, this is one of your assignment. Okay, I'm going to talk about it later about your assignment. Okay, applying ethics, ethical reasoning, and moral judgment. I think this course will be very interesting if you participate. So, can I expect a full participation from you? Basically, you have to participate because it's your marks. All right. It will be your marks. Your participation will be counted as marks in this course. Right. I would like to do something differently. To this course, boring, right? Right. Tulis. So this time I'm going to do something different. But of course, you have to participate lah. Okay. Um, do I have your attention now?
Yes, yes.
Yes,
We
Miss.
will
Okay.
Yes.
participate.
10 markah semua kan participate. So I think yeah, it would be a very interesting course if you participate. If it's not a time consuming thing, right? What you have to do is you can spend about 1 hour to do your assignment, and then we can spend the rest of the activity in class, and then you will get your marks. That's all, as easy as that. Okay. This one about ethical reasoning, moral judgment, and also applying ethicals in decision making. And lastly, this is um it should be a lengthy not week lesson where we are going to learn about major ethical issues that happen in workplace. Um, this is what I meant, okay, in terms of whistleblowing. Previously when I teach this course, I think we have covered about 9, if I'm not mistaken, 9 major issue. So you can imagine the length of the discussion, right? So to make sure that this can to cut short this topic, so we are going to learn a little bit here as well and during our discussion. Okay, so this is where I need you to come up with your ethical issues that you have heard, that you have experienced. So I don't have to lecture about all these major ethical issue, right? So I think it's better for us to take a look at what's happening out there, okay, the real example out there. So when the problem occurs to us, we can at least understand or decide what are the strategy that we can do based on the discussion in this class. I'm sure that 28 of you, okay, 28 students that I have in this class, you have brilliant ideas, you have brilliant ethical reasoning and moral judgment. So let's help each other to solve any ethical dilemmas, ethical issue that we had, right? So some of the issue, for example, like I've told you just now, this disclosure of information. So it can be you are not willing to share the right information, false reporting, and then we have ethical issue in information technology in terms of privacy, in terms of challenge to intellectual property. And we are going to take a look at ethical issue in global environment. Okay, for example, like human rights and bribery, what else? And some of the, for example, like in corporation, the board of directors, they also have their own rights. Okay, and some has been exploited. Okay, give me 5. Okay, so far, do you have any question about the topics or the content, or you like to for me to add any content that you would like to know more? Take out content.
No, I think it's good.
Okay. All right, so let's take a look at the assignment then. All right, so for this course, um, we only have 3 continuous assessment. Kejap. Here. So we only have 3 continuous assessment, and then as usual, it will contribute to 70% of the total course mark. We are going to have a thematic presentation and discussion. Pernah buat tak sebelum ni? Anyone have participated in thematic presentation and discussion before?
So far, no, not yet, Miss.
Not yet.
Yeah.
All right. So for a thematic presentation and discussion, I'm going to give you the instruction later. But this assessment is designed to explore a particular theme or topic in depth. The reason why we do thematic presentation, I'm going to give you like a theme, like a topic, and then we are going to explore it in depth. And then what you have to do is every one of you, ada berapa orang? 28 orang kan? Okay, I wasn't thinking about the number. Okay, tak apa. Boleh, tak ada masalah. So, we have 28 of you, and then each of you need to do a presentation, a short, really short presentation, and then it will follow by an open discussion among participants. Not everybody will discuss. I'm going to tell you how it works after this. But the overall picture is you present and some of you will reply, will react to your presentation, and they will give you some suggestion whatsoever. So it's a presentation and open discussion. This is more than a Q&A session, right? This is not a Q&A at all, right? Because what I want us to do is you have to provide suggestion instead of asking, right? Instead of asking, I would like to hear what you think about it, what you are going to say about it, and how from your part, from your end, what you're going to do about it, right? Based on your knowledge, based on your capacity, and so on. So there will be only one thematic presentation for this course. Everyone is going to be presenting, and this is 10% only. Kita masuk yang discussion nanti, okay? The step by step I will explain afterwards. And next is your midterm examination lah, macam biasa. In week 3, I'm going to publish several questions for your midterm examination, and this will contribute 20% of your total marks. Next is term paper. The term paper is 40%. We are going to take a look at what are the instruction later. And then the final assessment is 30%. Okay. So this is for thematic presentation. What you have to do here, this is just an introduction first. Thematic presentation and debate aim to examine the ethical dilemma. So our theme is the ethical dilemma. right ethical dilemma encountered by organization in handling values and ethics. So what I want you to do is you have to identify only one particular ethical dilemmas and present your methods in managing them. So you should do two things here. First is you have to identify your ethical dilemma first. I will show you some of the ethical dilemmas later, right? And then you have to present what you are going to do to solve it. Ataupun bukanlah solve it. What you are going to do to attend to the problem, to attend to the dilemma. What are the solutions? What are what you are going to do and how you're going to do that, right? This is your task to find one, and then you have to present this to us, right? Only for 10 to 15 minutes. I think your presentation should be only 5 to like less than 10 minutes because you should give more time for others to to give their suggestion as well, right? So 10 to 15 minutes each student. But let it be more time for other students to discuss, right? You tak payah baca pun ethical dilemma tu. Okay, you don't have to read it, okay, because you have to upload the ethical dilemma case in discussion forum before your presentation. Please upload it earlier. Because of why? Because you have two tasks here. The first one is you have to present. And the second one is you have to choose any dilemma that you think that you want to discuss, right? It will look something like this. I already posted here. Okay, here. Submit your ethical dilemma here. So what you have to do is you have to click reply. You click reply, and then you have to submit your ethical dilemma case, right? And then only less than 500 words. Let me find an example. Give me 2 minutes. Okay, that's 10%, right? So if you have any question, you can write down. Sementara I mencari contoh ethical dilemma. Okay, you have if you have any concern and so on, please write it down in the chat box. Okay, I find here. So this is I used this site before. Okay. Contoh lah Ada. Sorry. Let's take social sector ethics. Mana? Yeah. Okay, so this is some of the dilemma. Okay. Ini panjang sangat. Okay, I used this one before this. Okay. This is one example, right? What happened in this case is a councilwoman, okay, Alexandra Evers, is got a dilemma of what happened is she attended some sport I can't remember actually the case. It's here. And then when she go to the game, and then there is one like old friends, kind of like give the ticket as a gift to her. However, that friend is actually has some business with the city council, right? So there is a conflict of interest over there. Philip indicated that he had a free ticket, extra ticket, and then would meet her at a sport arena in the night of the game. So what happened was Don Philip is actually waiting for something like an approval or got some business with the city council. And then this councilwoman Alexandra Evers are the head of the city council. So there is definitely some dilemma there, whether she should receive it, because if she receive it, it can if orang tahu, right? It can be as a ground for unethical practice ke, ataupun it's people will assume that it's a bribe and so on. Okay, so this is the dilemma. Nama lagi dilema kan, so meaning that you don't know betul ke salah ke apa yang dia buat kan. So these are some of the cases that you can come up with. But I prefer if you can come up with your own ataupun your own story. But if you couldn't find it, or if you don't have anything, so you can find all those this thing, okay, all this kind of this dilemma. And then the question here is, should councilwoman left the game as soon as she found out that where she was sitting, and how should she now proceed? So when you present, you should tell me the case, and then what do you think that she should do? And then others will discuss during presentation what they think that she should do. If agree, then agree lah. If disagree, then you can tell what are your points. Okay, that's why you have to upload this thing. You just like copy and paste everything, upload the thing. Okay, and then you reply here. Okay, you click reply and then you submit the whole case. But you don't tell us yet what you what you are going to what's your decision, what's your um verdict ataupun yalah kan, the decision about the case. So I just nak tahu, we all what would like to know your case, right? And the rest of student, okay, read that case, and if you think that the case is interesting and you would like to say something about it, then you can discuss. Okay. Tak payahlah rajin sangat nak kena discuss every case. Choose any like one case, but you ramai kan? Choose any one case, one or two case that you think you have a good approach based on what you have experienced, what you have learned, right? Janganlah semua discussion tu sama je. Tak bermakna you banyak discuss tu banyak markah ke apa ke tak, okay? So as long as you presented and then you did discuss, you give ideas, because actually when you presented, you already gave me an overview about your thinking style, okay? So you should be able to get your marks already, okay? But I would like to be this one classroom yang engaging, where people can share experience, can share knowledge and so on. That's why I would like it to be a discussion. Okay, tak payahlah berajin sangat setiap 28. If you do that, boleh. Okay, we do extra class for you. Right? We would like to hear what you're going to say. Right? Boleh, tak ada masalah. Just let me know. Okay, we can do extra class. Faham tak so far? Okay, let me attend to one question here dalam ethical dilemma. It is just pengenalan. Nak ada bit no. Macam tadi kan I cakap, it's just a dilemma, the case only. So you save how to handle during the presentation. And you have nak justify lah, you justify lah why you think this is an appropriate action, this is an appropriate decision making, right? There are a lot of ethical dilemma that you can find in the internet. I'm using this because I teach in public sector. I teach ethics in public sector, so I use this case lah. That's why like you nampak the councilwoman and so on. But dekat sini, the rest of the case I never use. Okay, I have used several, like government ethics I have used, and then so I'm just going to share with you this link, right? Your ethical dilemma should look something like this. I rasa link tu tak betul. Sekejap. Let me give you the right one. Can I delete this? Okay. Let me share with you the right one. You go to ethical resources, ethical case. Okay. I never used like journalism ethics before this. Bioethics, okay, because my class is I focus more on government ethics social sector case, and ESG, and business ethics as well. Okay. Make this as a guideline for you to come up with your own case. Banyak lagi, right? If I'm not mistaken, I also have a list of cases, but I can't remember where I put it. Okay. This is one of a manager, blah, 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 blah. I used to do this in my class, and then it is it is it is a wonderful thing, a wonderful discussion, because like everybody, they have their own justifications, why we do this, why we do that, right? Forget about the rules and regulation that applies in the case. Because some organizations, some of our knowledge is very different, right? In any company, maybe they don't really have. This is just an example. Um, I used to do this with my undergraduate student. Kita stalk company punya code of conduct, ataupun satu lagi tu yalah, code of conduct, and dia orang punya handbook whatsoever, if it's available. So we have like several companies code of conduct, and then we take a look at a special theme during the class. For example, okay, today's theme is gift, right? Is gift. So how much that the company allows for the value of gifts. If you receive this value, then you should report it. But if you receive this value, then you can keep it without even have to disclose it or report it. Okay, and then there are some companies yang tulis, yang state in the code of conduct, any 200 ringgit. Okay, and even if I'm not mistaken, if government kalau tak silap, government and other company, 50 ringgit is the minimum. Oh no, is it minimum? Maximum, minimum. Okay, so if the gift is more than 50 ringgit, then you should report it to your head of department, report to the management. But if it's less than 50 ringgit, then you boleh keep it. And most of the company are not allowed at all. Okay, tak boleh langsung ambil gift. So these kind of differences that we can find in company, it's very interesting, okay, to see. In terms of discrimination as well, some company, they really disclose that we don't discriminate in terms of everything, age, gender, sexual orientation, and blah 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 blah. Okay, but some company, they do that, right? Mungkin there is no discrimination clause ke, ataupun kalau ada pun, they mention about the gender and religion only. Okay, tak ada, tak fully, tak inclusive lah kan, tak all inclusive. Nationality, races, apa lagi? Education background. Okay, because we do have cases before this where what happened in university, because in university, especially if we have a lot of international students, and then apa orang panggil tu, the instructor ataupun the lecturer themselves yang discriminate between nationality. I have attended one interview before this when I was baru nak start cari kerja kan. So, baru nak start cari kerja. I was so surprised by this attitude of ni sharing session. This is really happening, right? I'm not ashamed to tell you that this happens in education, because we are being transparent. I'm telling you what really happened. So I went for an interview. And then during the interview, I think he is the CEO lah, okay, CEO ataupun the owner of the university college. And he told me that, I think this is very sad. He told me that he called me for interview, even though that I am a product of UITM. He said that I'm willing to give you a try. I call you for interview because I really hate UITM graduates, but I only pick you for one reason. Then masa kat situ dah red flag kan, because we never know that macam tu pula dia punya the CEO punya traits kan. So during the interview tu, instead of interviewer yang buat muka, I yang buat muka. I macam, who are you? Who do you think you are? So dia kata, the only reason why I choose you as UiTM graduates because you are not wearing any hijab. Dia kata dia memang blacklist UiTM graduates and people with hijab. So I don't think that is a good practice for an university, academic institution. We shouldn't discriminate people like that. Okay, I know that you have preference. Okay, for example, like company yang we for example like kalau airlines ke apa ke, okay, we know that they have a certain dress code to adhere to. But this is university, this is college that we are talking about, and yeah, I sue you. Betul. So I was like, okay, thank you. I memang nak tarik kerusi. I cakap lah, nak, if you give me a job pun, I wouldn't work with someone who discriminate people like this. All right. And then the interview went on, him telling me the experience with UiTM graduates and so on, blah, 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 blah. I said thank you and never look back. Okay, tak apalah. I really don't not good lah kan, that kind of culture. Kalau the top management, kalau CEO buat macam tu, so I can only imagine. But the funny thing is, the funny really like the irony is, when you go to the university, you can see like a lot of murals about being united, being good to each other. Yeah, so it's very funny like, when I think about it, right? Nampak indah kan? But in the real thing is discrimination happened at very top during the selection process, right? Preference is one thing, right? Preference is one thing, but to discriminate people with I mean, in religion, okay, according to religion, wearing hijab, not hijab, I think not proper for an academic institutions, because we don't have, unless I know, okay, there is no unless. Okay, for airlines, for example, like if you're working in a special department in hotel ke kan, to serve, for example lah, to serve an alcoholic beverage, okay lah, you nak minta yang not wearing hijab and so on, because it's the appearance, dia kena respect lah, okay, that kind of appearance, takkan nak kita nak serve alcohol pula kan. So but for academic institution, I don't think that is proper. Okay, come back to this. Okay, itu contoh sajalah. Okay, come back to this. So far, okay tak? Thematic presentation. Okay, don't worry about marks lah. I wanted to have a good interaction in the class. Okay. Bosan lah, I seorang je cakap. So I would like to hear from you. So because we have 28 students, so maybe we will divide it into several class presentation. Alright, I'm going to let you know, kita ada berapa kelas lagi? Kita ada 5 kelas. So, 2 classes. No, next sejam. Yes, okay, 5 minutes presentation should be okay. It's just like a discussion more, right? And kelas yang terakhir tu, we have 3 hours. It can be for this presentation, right? And we will hear a lot of ethics issue. And if it's okay with you, not okay. I encourage you to come up with engaging cases, make things a lot okay. Interesting case, yang lagi susah, lagi best kan, so that we can think, and then maybe we can relate back to what we have learned. Pre-recorded or compulsory live lah. Okay, let's do it live. Okay, 5 minutes presentation. Okay, most probably during the last class. Kalau you tak boleh make it, please let me know so we can do a week earlier. Next is your term paper. Kalau rasa thematic presentation susah, thematic thematic paper lagi susah. Okay. Tak apa. I ada timer. Okay, I will tell you that. Okay, 5 minutes. And 5 minutes time's up. Okay, so I'm sorry, I know that you have a lot of classes, you have a lot of assignment. Unfortunately, I have to do another term paper for you. All right. I hope you guys can take care of your health. Don't stress, huh? Don't stress. I know you have a lot of berapa class this module? 3 classes. 4.
3 classes, Miss. 3
3 classes.
classes. Back to back this morning.
And yesterday.
Yesterday 1 class only.
This morning.
This morning 8:30 until 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think class is bearable, okay, because I think it is quite tiring listening, but doing the assignment is the most difficult part lah. Okay. Tak tahu nak tolong macam mana. Okay, but another one is term paper. This carries 14 marks. But I choose the easiest topic. Okay, I choose the easiest topic, the general one, so you can choose whatever topic that is familiar with you lah. Okay, so my general topic is the role of corporate governance. That's all. Okay, corporate governance, and also about ethics in the corporate governance. Okay, corporate governance means that the way that you steer. Governance means that you steer the company. So we are talking about the top management, how top management should be ethical, and then how to be ethical is balancing economic and social goals. So for company, previously company memang their ultimate goal is to maximize profit, to enhance, to maximize profitability and so on. But for nowadays, we also have to balance our economic goals and also social goals. Social goal maksudnya to have a good employee working for us, to take care of the public, to engage and then to take care of our stakeholders as well. Okay, and then to practice good orang panggil tu macam contoh lah macam hiring process. So you have to be fair, okay, during the hiring and recruitment. So in terms of giving promotion, fair and equal opportunity for all. So that one is a social goal to make sure that you have an ethical culture in your workplace. Tenitin, you have to for final examination, final assessment only. Assignment tak payah. For term paper, no. You don't have to submit for Tenitin. But this is for my class, okay? If other lecturers, if it's required for you to submit for Tenitin, then please do so. For me, you don't have to now, right? Okay, so your task is you choose one corporation. It can be any corporation. It can be your company. It can be other company. It can be any MNC. Anything, all right? And then you analyze how the corporate governance align interests of individual and corporation and society. I give you contoh je lah terus kat sini kan, senang. Give me one company. Mana company yang best? Selain daripada itu. Let's take a look at apa nama company tu ah? Oh, no, my airline. Wait. Because what I want to show to you is one document. You boleh nampak dekat. Okay lah, senang macam ni lah. Sustainability Report Astro. Okay. So basically, what I want you to do is find out the sustainability report for any company, kan? Lepas you choose any one corporation, I wanted to know what the company do to serve the interests of individual, corporation, and society. So the easiest one to get this information is by looking at the sustainability report, kan? And then consider importance of all these practices, all this activity that the company do, right? Contohnya ialah, if you go here, sustainability report, Astro, dah banyak dah information dekat sini kan. So what they do, so this one, we are committed. This is their contribution apa? Their commitment, alright? Their commitment about environment. So they have a goal plan ataupun an action plan to have carbon neutrality by 2040. So what they do is they develop a climate roadmap. Okay, a roadmap, blah, 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 blah. So this one is for environment. And then for social, they have education for all. Okay, education for all, community development. I just want to help whenever ada diperlukan. Environmental, so you can see that what they did, and then you can see what are the impacts. So daripada sini, daripada this document, then you write your own term paper lah, explaining about this. So environmental, a lot of things. Berapa page ni kalau kita nak go every page? Ada tulis page tak? Social, in terms of talent. Ni je yang nak tahu. Okay. And then after that, after you have, kalau misalnya macam ni kan, it's better for you to have yang ni dia tak ada outcome tau. Tak ada kan kat sini outcome. Maksudnya you have to read. You have to read line by line. Ada yang sustainability report, there is like a summary table where you can see the outcome. So daripada outcome tu, this one lah. Okay, the impact of the successful governance, blah, 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 blah. So outcome tu, you should elaborate the outcome. Kalau macam ni, you have to read line by line lah. I'm sure that they have here a total blah 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 blah. This equates blah 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 blah. Kan? So you have to read one by one apa dia punya impact ataupun outcome. This is really interesting. I really like this CSR and so on. Okay, faham tak? So I gave you a shortcut. Cari sustainability report of any company that you like ataupun your own, okay, your own sustainability report for your company. And then daripada situ, you boleh lah evaluate what are the outcomes. And the reason why you should know this is for you to get familiar with what are the activities that currently done by other corporations. So you might implement, you might get an idea about this activity and you can implement it in your own organization. Okay. All right. So far, term paper easy, right? Macam biasa, term paper is 2,000 to 2,500 words. Remember to put all these three, apa tu? Social, environment, and also economy. I think it should be okay, right? If you have any question, then just let me know. Okay, I think that's all. Do you have anything else to ask? Do you want to go to chapter 1 today?
Raya.
Apa? Tak dengar. Sorry, I punya.
Hari ni masih ada raya lagi ke?
Okay. But it's okay lah. You can use the remaining times to get to find the maybe I can leave the call about 10 minutes. Okay, setelah you ada dalam kelas kan? So maybe you can spend about 10 to 15 minutes to find information about the corporation, and then once you found it, you can let me know in the chat box here. So that maybe others can see, or that one corporation already taken, so they can pick another one. Right, so I give you about 10 to 15 minutes to do your own research now. Jimat sikit kan masa. And if you have more time, you can find the ethical dilemma as well. All you have to do is reply here. Okay. I will be here in this call. If you want to ask anything, please do whatever your work, your research now. So lepas ni kelas, kita boleh fokus dekat dalam kelas, okay? So 15 minutes to search for information and let me know the company that you choose. I'm here, okay? So I just mute, but I'm here. Okay, government agency can boleh, tak ada masalah. Alright. But make sure that the information, you can get the access to information easily. Alright, kalau kita pilih macam apa tu, corporate, the GLC, the information is out there, kan, open to public. So government agency, Ais Selangor, so I think Ais Selangor should be okay. Grab, yep, can. Good, everybody. Make
Miss
sure that
Wawa.
you can,
Oh,
yes.
sorry, you can continue finishing here.
Okay. So if you can get the information, make sure that you can get the information, the document first before selecting, so that it will be easy for you, right? Okay. NVIDIA Corp, all right. Just now, who is there?
Okay, Amal. I actually wanted to ask. I'm a bit lost from writing my the ethical dilemma to be posted on discussion right now. And the sustainability report, is it two are these two the same thing, or are we? I'm lost.
Oh, no.
Are we doing two different things?
Yes, two different things.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Okay. For the thematic presentation is the ethical dilemma, and for the autumn paper is the sustainability practices by corporation. Okay, boleh
Okay,
change
cool.
later. Yes.
All right.
All right. So let's see if you couldn't find information, Puneethan, then you can change later. Right. Doesn't matter. Okay, so now I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, only 7 out of. I lemah betul nak tengok how many participants here. Check. So I have 18. Berapa tadi I sebut? Berapa orang dah tulis? 18. Or set, okay. 7. Thank you so much. I think for those yang dah jumpa, okay, you can use this time, the remaining time, to write down, to start build your outline first for your term paper, right? And you may leave the call, class is dismissed. And for the rest, if you have any question, or if you like to let me know the company that you pick, then you can stay in the class. Okay. For the rest, thank you so much for today. I'm going to see you guys next week. Bye.
Thank you, Miss Zuria.
Have a great day.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
Okay. All right. Shafika Haslin and Mi Kun Lo. Equal. I think it's the same equal word. Is it the same?
Equal developments in German.
I think it's the same with Mi Kun Lo.
Then I'll change.
Okay, but it's okay. You can choose the same. I don't have I mean, there is no specific instruction for you to do different company, but I think you can choose if you are familiar, if you have all the documents for equal, then it's okay. That's fine. Haslin kan nama?
Yeah.
Shafika. Haslin.
Shafika, but it's okay. I'll just change to another.
Okay, Hazana is good. Bang Rakyat, yes. Nizam, I met your, I'm not sure whether your co-worker. Apa? Hello?
Yeah.
I'm not sure whether he's your co-worker, but I met with
Yeah.
Azim. He told you? Yeah. I have class with him this morning. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else left? Etika beverage. Okay. Etika beverage. Huh? Etika beverage. This is the first time that I. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I believe that's everyone. I believe that everyone have their topic already. So if there is nothing else, then you may leave the class. Thank you so much. I'm going to see you guys next week. Bye.